Hello YouTubers! What we are going to do today is we are going to make this embossed HTV look. We're over on a different surface because this was a little too much pink for the camera to even pick up. But what we're going to do is we're going to layer, it's called Brick. And it's basically kind of a fat HTV. And then we're going to layer some stretch vinyl on top of it. So it gives kind of this subtle embossed look when you don't want to scream. When you want something a little bit more low-key. So let me go show you the supplies for this. Alright, so I know this looks uninteresting. This is Brick HTV, and basically it's kind of fat. We're going to do a couple little projects with it, but basically it's thick. But it's still thin enough that the Cameo can cut it, even the Cameo too. So it's thicker, and so it gives it's what goes underneath this to give it the embossed feel. Now, I got this from JSI Signs. Chameleon has it. H&H Sign Supply has it too. Please don't go to Amazon and buy it. It's so much more expensive there. Everywhere I looked, it's roughly about $6 for the 12 by 20 sheet. So keep that in mind, but just don't go to Amazon because it's like $10 there. So, but you're gonna need this, and then some Stretch HTV. The only Stretch HTV I have is this ridiculous shade of pink. So everything is very bright today. So let's go set it up in the software. Oh, and this little bag I got from Chameleon as well, but it'll work on any surface. So, but let's go set it up in the software. Okay, so this was the original one I've made, and basically and this one I just made in the software. So if you take the circles and hold down the shift key so you get a perfect circle. So I held, let's try that again. So hold down the shift key, and then I made another one. And then select both of them and go to the transform tool, and you can center them. And then right click, and we're gonna make a compound path. You can go fill it in so you can see it. And then I just put a letter that I wanted. So I did that twice to get both circles. And then I just put a letter in that I wanted it. Now keep in mind that this seems to be having trouble keeping with this little details. So it's shown up a little bit more recently. But when it first came, the HTV wasn't wanting to stick around the dots, and it was having a little trouble picking up a lot of these little details. So a simpler, bolder choice probably is better, especially maybe also given the size. So so you can make anything and put in any initial. These three, Chameleon has a free font right now. It's the circle font, and basically you just type out your monogram. And so this is the one I typed out right here, and then right click and let's weld it so that we're not dealing with it. And then I just drew a circle around it. So that's pretty much all there is to that one. And then anywhere that is black is going to be raised, and anywhere that is white is going to be depressed. So this one's kind of going to be a reverse. And then I've been kind of guessing around 5 inches is good on the bag. So just measure your bag or wherever you're going to put it. And then this we're going to cut out. This one will cut out in the brick, and then this one will cut out in the Stretch HTV. The Stretch HTV needs to be bigger than your the brick design that you're going to cut. And this one we're going to have to flip horizontally because we're going to flip it. Your circle, technically you need to too, but obviously it's a circle, so it's the same on both sides. But if you had a different design, like a star or something, you'd want to mirror it. Now, this is where life gets a little interesting. So I cut them separately because they have different settings. Now we'll cut this brick first. We'll talk about this brick first. So Caesar says for the Cameo to cut it at a blade of 10, a speed of 4, and a force of 33. When I did that, it cut straight through to my mat. So what I have been doing is a blade of 9 and a force of 10. Now, I have two silhouette cameos. I have a pink one and the gold one. The gold one seems to have more force. See, this is my gold one. So keep that in mind and definitely hit the test cut button and see if this does. This is almost still a little too much. You can still feel it kind of coming through on the carrier sheet. So keep that in mind. If this is not enough, that you can up the force. I would increase the force until you get to 33, and if that's not enough, then increase the blade and start at a low force again. But after that, you're pretty much just cutting. So you're going to cut this on whatever setting you kind of get to, and then the regular circle that's going to go around it, you're just going to cut on the smooth HTV setting. Alright, so you're all cut, and definitely make sure that before you take it off that it's cut all the way through. So try to weed a little bit before you take it off the mat, or before you unload it from the machine. If it's not cut all the way through, then just send it through the machine again. But you can't unload it first. If you unload it, then you're stuck with it. Now you could also, if you wanted to, put these all back together and use the negative as well. So if you wanted to, you could put the negative together with some hot fix tape and then use this as well and put it on another bag. But see, it's just thicker material, but it weeds fairly well. So there is our monogram, and then this is just simple. So I'm going to turn on the heat press to, let's say, 310 degrees. All right, to save supplies, we're going to put this on the back of the one we already did and hope nothing funky happens. So 300 degrees, we're 15 seconds or so. Now when you do place this, remember you got to put your circle over it. So, and this is a cold peel, so keep that in mind too. And then I like to put it over here and put the zipper off the pressing pillow, just so nothing funky happens. And then I like to press it for about 10 seconds or so. So this brick is a cold peel, so I like to put it on my counter and then let it cool down. And it needs to be cold to the touch before you peel it. All right, so it's finally cold or cool, and it's a little tough of a peel. It's not like, but it doesn't feel like when you pull glitter, basically. And then it's got a really smooth. Right here, it's really smooth. Now the only tricky part of this whole operation is trying to get this to line up. You can kind of see it. I don't know if you can. It's trying to figure out how to get this all lined up because you can't really see it that well. So I just kind of try to make sure we're even around all the edges and kind of hope for the best. And then we're going to press this for 10 seconds as well. Alright, so we're just back here with the heat press, and we're going to put a Teflon sheet on this, and we're going to heat it for about 10 seconds. So this is a warm peel, I do believe. Alright. So the first time you see this, you're going to be really underwhelmed because you can't really see a lot compared to this one. So the trick to getting this to work is you got to flip the bag inside out and then press from the inside. That's how you get the raised look. So we're going to let this guy cool down for a minute, and then we're going to flip it inside out and press it again. Alright, so this is cooled down, so we're going to flip it inside out. And then we're going to take this side and we're going to press it. So I'm going to put some parchment paper between mine just because basically we'd be pressing two together. And I can't imagine that would go well. So I just put some parchment paper in between mine. You're not going to need to do that, but I'm just going to because I don't want to heat two sides of HTV together. Alrighty, so we're going to press again. Alright, so that's what this is looking like. Now, I'm getting a little bit of the imprint from this side. And now also what I would do is let this cool, and then you can press it again, and it'll get you more definition of your design. So you can press it several times to help make sure you get a clear imprint. Also, once it cools down completely, it tends, so when I pressed this the first time, this wasn't sticking, and then there was still a little bit here. So once you press it and let it sit and really cool, it kind of comes, it'll take a shape a little bit better. But this one, I probably press another 2 to 3 times to really get all of this impression on here. All right, so there is our finished project. Now you're getting a little bit of the ring that's on this side, since I was trying to save some material. But I ended up pressing this probably 3 times total. And then this has been sitting for, I don't know, a couple of days. And so it really seems to kind of chill out once it gets to sit for a little bit. I will say the stretch didn't adhere there. So I don't know if maybe to not put it on big swaths, or if it's because of what's over on the other side. But I really like these for these little bags. It's kind of a cool way of doing something different, because who doesn't like something a little different? So I hope you please like and subscribe to our little channel. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be back with another video soon.